One of the most common types of word problems are translation word problems. What does that mean? There's a sentence in the word problem that you translate directly into an equation. Let's do an example. A math class has 40 students and 25 of them love math. What fraction of the class are math lovers? The sentence we're going to translate is this one because it has this phrase in it. What fraction of? The word of in math often means multiply. So how many in the class? The word are is a plural of the word is, which is often an equal sign. And we have the number of math lovers. So we're looking for the fraction. We'll represent that with a box for now. Of means multiply. How many are in the class? 40 is equal to the number who love math. So we have a missing factor. We're going to divide the product. And remember, there's 3 different ways of writing a division. Let's just refresh our memory. So the number that's being divided either goes first, inside, or on top. So you could write the solution of this problem as 25 divided by 40, or 40 divided into 25, or 25 over 40. But because they're asking for a fraction, we'll use this one. And of course, you always want to reduce your answer. So 25 is 5 times 5. 40 is 5 times 8. 5 over 5 equals 1. So your answer is 5/8 of the class love math. Another way to think of it is that 5 out of every 8 students love math. Of course, we know everyone loves math. Let's do another example. All right, 600 students were surveyed, and 400 of them said they take the bus to school. And the question is, what fraction of those surveyed are bus riders? And this is a translation problem. Can you guess which sentence will translate? If you thought the second one, you would be correct because it's the one that has fraction of in it. So this would be a good time to hit the pause button and try that problem on your own. All right, let's translate this problem, this sentence, into an equation. So what fraction, that's what we're looking for. So I'll put a box. Of means multiply. How many were surveyed? 600. R is another word for is, which is equals. And how many are bus riders is 400. So this is the missing factor. We're going to divide the product, but because we want a fraction, we'll write it as a fraction. So the product goes on top, And then you always reduce your answer. So we divide by 10, divide by 100. 4 is 2 times 2. 6 is 2 times 3. 2 over 2 equals 1. So 2/3 of those surveyed take the bus. Or another way to think of it is 2 out of every 3 students takes the bus. Let's try another one. In a survey of 800 students, it was found that 7/8 of all the students love physics. How many love physics? So this would be a good moment to hit pause and try it on your own. And the first thing you want to ask yourself is, which part of this do I translate? Well, the part you translate is a part that has fraction of in it. And in this case, you're given the fraction. So 7/8 of all of the students are the ones that love physics. Let's translate that into an equation. So 7/8 of means times. And then you have to ask yourself, is this 800 all of the students, or is that the number who love physics? That's right. Those are all of the students who are surveyed. So equals, and what we're looking for is the number who love physics. This is a missing product, so we're going to multiply. And because 800 is a whole number, let's make it into a fraction by putting a 1 in the denominator. And then 8 goes into 800 100 times. We get 8 times 100. And then 8 over 8 equals 1. 7 times 100 is 700. 700 divided by 1 is 700. So 700 of them love physics. And it's always good to ask yourself, does that sound about right? If you have a total of 800 students and 7 out of every 8 of them love physics, then that would mean that 700 of them love physics. That sounds right to me. All right, let's try another one. 3/4 of the cats in your house have fleas. If 18 of the cats in your house have fleas, how many total cats are in your house? So if you want to hit pause and give it a try, this would be a good time. All right, so first you want to decide which of these sentences gets translated. And it's going to be the sentence that has fraction of in it. So that's the sentence. 3/4 of all of the cats in your house equals the ones that have fleas. So we have 3/4 of means times. So we look at this number given, and is that the total number of cats in the house, or is that the number of cats that have fleas? The 18 is the number that have fleas. So this is going to be 3/4 times the number of cats in the house. That's what we're looking for. Equals the number that have fleas. So this is a missing factor. So we're going to divide. And let's go back and review the 3 ways of writing a division. All right. So this refers to the number that's being divided. It either goes first, inside, or on top. So you could either write it as 18 divided by 3/4, or it's the 18 going inside, 3/4 divided into 18, or 18 over 3/4. So let's take a moment. This doesn't look right. This is a compound or complex fraction. We'll talk about that in a later section. But this we know how to do. When you're dividing by a fraction, you rewrite it as a multiplication. So that's 18 times, and you multiply by the reciprocal. Reciprocal and you can make the whole number into a fraction by putting a 1 in the denominator. 18, I could do 2 times 9 or 3 times 6, but I'm looking at that 3, so I'm thinking 3 times 6. Three over 3 equals 1. 6 times 4 is 24. 24 divided by 1 is 24. Let's look at the original problem. So you have 18 cats with fleas, and that would mean you have a total of 24 cats in the house, and that's 3 out of every 4 cats with fleas. So 18 out of 24 is 3 out of every 4 cats. So that makes sense. Let's try another one. In a small town, 3/5 of all voters have voted. If 150 voted, how many live in the town? This would be a good time to hit pause and try this problem on your own. All right, so the first thing you want to decide is which sentence gets translated, and you look for the sentence that has fraction of in it. So it's this one, 3/5 of all of the voters is the number who have voted. So let's make that an equation. 3/5 of means times. And then we have to ask, do we know the number of all of the voters, or do we know the number who have voted? Right, 150 have voted. So we're looking for how many possible voters are in the town. And that's equal to 150. So that's a missing factor. So we're going to divide. And this is a lot like the last problem. So we can do it that way. 150 divided by 3/5. We're dividing by a fraction. So we want to multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. Put a 1 underneath there. And then 3 goes into 150. That's 3 times 50. Three over 3 equals 1. 50 times 5 is 250. 250 divided by 1 is 250. And then let's go back and see if that sounds right. So 3 out of every 5 people in the town have voted. If 150 voted, 250 live in the town. That sounds right. All right, let's try one more. And again, this would be a good time to hit pause and try this one on your own. So if 18 out of every 72 students bike to school, what fraction of the students are bike commuters? So the sentence we're going to translate is this one. What fraction of all of the students are bike commuters? So we're looking for the fraction. Of means times. This is all of the students. So that's going to be 72. And that's equals. And then the number of bike commuters is 18. We're going to divide the product. So remember, you could either write it as 18 divided by 72 or 72 divided into 18. But because they're asking for the fraction, let's just write it as a fraction. And then you just want to reduce 18, 2 times 9, 72, 8 times 9. We'll keep reducing. Remember, if everything cancels in the numerator, you can write in a times 1 to help you remember that you keep a 1 in the numerator. So 1 out of every 4 students is a bike commuter.